Hi, today for my vlog video I wanted to talk about the current book that I'm reading, which is Dune by Frank Herbert. It's really weird, first of all. I just read a giant collection of Lovecraft and by comparison is way weirder. According to one of my friends, it's like drug wars in space. So far there hasn't been any drug wars in it. I'm on chapter 15, I believe, and to be 170 something pages in out of 800, only at chapter 15, there's a lot. This is book 1 that I'm on, and it's basically this little kid, Paul. It might not even be pronounced Paul, even though it's spelled that way, because it's weird. It's like Star Wars-ish. Little kid. He's 15 actually, but when I read the book, I get this weird feeling that he's way younger than he is because the parents treat him like he's a toddler. He's been given this prophecy from this old lady, the Bene Gesserit, which I don't know if it's pronounced that way. He's going to be the one who can see into the pasts of the women and the men. And they've already tried this with a whole bunch of little boys, but they couldn't do it because the boys couldn't see into their feminine side. And I was just like, what is this? His family is going to move off of their great planet, which is called Caladan, I believe is how it's pronounced. I have not seen the movie, the original one, which I think was made in the 80s. There's going to be a remake though, and I really want to see it. Like, I'm trying to like this book, and I like it as much as I can, but I want to see the movie so that it makes better sense. I read science fiction a lot. I love science fiction. I started with Kurt Vonnegut, and he's great. They're moving off of their planet Caladan to this planet Arrakis, or Arrakis. It's the sand planet where they have this sand spice, and they put it in everything, and they breathe it, and they drink it, eat it, and it's like the drug of the planet, and they sell it. They want to sell it. I guess they want to like take control of this planet from the evil house of the Harkonnens, or however they're pronounced. Like, Paul's dad is the Duke, and he wants to take all the stuff, all the spice that this planet Arrakis can make. He wants to take over this planet from the Harkonnens, who are apparently evil. I don't know what's evil about them yet, but I mean, it's obviously a war, and one side wants to win, and there's no way that you can know like which side is evil and which side is good. And I mean, there's a completely different and deeper argument about that, but I'm not going into that right now. Basically, this little kid is born to this lady. She was supposed to give birth to a daughter because, according to her lineage, they take these girls and they take them away from their family, and they're only supposed to give birth to girls. The Bene Gesserit witch lady was to Paul's mom, was like, why didn't you give birth to a daughter? And she was like, oh, the Duke wanted a son to carry on his name. And I was like, why does that matter to anyone? Oh, the prophecy, he's supposed to be able to save us. And the people of Arrakis, the Fremen, or the Freemen, Fremen. I've been calling them the Freemen for the longest time. These people are like, oh, Paul's gonna save us from the evilness of these people who want to take our spice. Actually, I don't know if that's it. This book is so strange. There is literally, this book has so many weird words in it, and like so many concepts, and so many freaking characters. Like, I keep forgetting which character is which. This book is 883 pages long, and starting on page 798, that's the first appendix, which like describes like their lifestyles and their economy and all kinds of stuff like that. The second one is their religion. There's religion. They read like this orange Catholic Bible thing, and I was like, that hasn't worked into anything yet, as far as I know, at least. And then there's the Bene Gesserit, which is Bengesserit, Bene Gesserit. What do they do? What do they want to do? And like I already told you, they want to creep at little girls and make them give birth to only girls. And then there's Appendix 4, which is I don't even know what this is yet. I probably shouldn't even be reading it. The Almanac and Ashraf. I don't know what that is. And it basically like gives like histories of the characters in the book. And I probably don't want to know that yet. And then there's Terminology of the Imperium. It sounds like Star Wars, doesn't it? It's like basically describing all these freaking words that are in the book that have like no meaning outside of this guy made up these words. I mean, I'm not like dissing him or anything, but there's like so many words. And then there's this thing that says cartographic notes, which is basically a map. And it has a map. This book is so freaking complicated. Then there's an afterword by the guy's brother, I believe. The guy who wrote it is Frank Herbert, and the afterword is by Brian Herbert. Good God, this book has so much stuff in it. Like, you have to, like, if you see a word and you don't look it up, you're gonna be lost forever. And look how thick the afterword is in comparison to the book. Oh my God, I really do love this book. It's like a space opera. I mean, it's really interesting, but it's so hard to follow. It's just so confusing. It's at a pretty high reading level too. It's insane. There's so much going on, and you had to have such a good memory for this book. Oh my gosh, this book is so hard to follow, but I totally recommend it. If you have time, read this really weirdly long, weirdly confusing book, and read it before the movie comes out, if it even does, so that you can be one of those cool people who are like, oh, I like the book better. It is worthy of being enjoyed. I had to get some spark notes, honestly, about this book to understand what was going on for the first 6 or 7 chapters. Unless you take your own notes, you're gonna get lost. Read it, it's great. It has like a little thing on the front that says, science fiction's supreme masterpiece.